All right, so the Maid of Honor was tasked with kicking the flower girl out of the wedding. She hit us up, like, trying to figure out, how do I do this? And all of us were like, you don't do it because it's nasty. Real quick before we get into the email, good news is Bert is here today. Bad news, he's just not here yet. So I'm hoping there's not a nasty accident on the route that he takes into work, but traffic is real backed up. And so just know, Mo, Cassie, Tommy, he's listening to us.
Oh, God.
Oh, okay. Well, that changes things.
He's air checking us right now. I guarantee you. So anybody got anything they want to say to Bert?
Yeah, I was here on time.
All right, I think that suffices. All right, so Cassie, break down everything about what's going on with this bride's Maid of Honor flower girl situation.
So she reached out to us. This is her first wedding, and at this point, she says this is going to be her last next to her own. She has been working for this bridezilla who's her friend, and everything has to be perfect out of the gate. She has this level of perfection that's almost unachievable. Well, bride asked her niece to be the flower girl, which is super cute, but apparently the bride now thinks that at 6 years old, the niece isn't as cute as the bride thought she was at 4. So she doesn't want the niece to be in the wedding anymore as the flower girl and wants to replace her with the daughter of a friend. And instead of doing this herself, she is tasking our listener with breaking the news and kicking the flower girl out of the wedding. And she does not want to do this, but the bride is making her, and she doesn't know how to do this without crushing the little girl. She needs help lying, or should she not do it at all?
Yeah, it sounds even worse the second time around. Like, it sounded bad yesterday.
This is so easy. All you got to do is go to the little girl and say, okay, would you like to be the flower girl, or would you like this big basket of candy? She's going to choose the candy.
Okay, yes. It's okay. So, yeah, that's easy, but it's still wrong to kick the flower girl out of the
she
wedding.
She won't know the difference. She'll have a Twix and a Snickers, and she'll be happy.
You know who will know the difference is Flower Girl's mom, who is somebody's sister. You know what I mean? Like, that is such a relationship changer. If my sister was like, I'm kicking your kid out of my wedding because she's not cute enough, we're not talking for a long time.
All right, Mo, you got the update.
Thank you.
Was that, I take it in all caps?
Yep, all caps. I knew it didn't feel right. I'm so glad you validated my feelings. I absolutely agree that she shouldn't kick her niece out of the wedding, and I absolutely do not want any part of doing it. So, I'm just going to have to tell her this. I love her, and I'm really shocked by the fact that she is even acting like this. Part of me thinks this little girl is better off not being in the wedding, but I certainly don't want to be the one to kick her out. So I'm going to talk to the bride this weekend. We already have plans to meet on Sunday to go over some other quote-unquote assignments she has given me. She is planning on also getting an update from me about this particular situation. In fact, she just sent me her sister's phone number so that I could text her and set up a time to talk to her. She assumes that I'm going to have this conversation with her sister, and then her sister will have to tell her own daughter. I cannot imagine how angry her sister would be if I had that call with her. So I'm talking to her and keeping my fingers crossed that I don't get myself kicked out of the wedding too.
At this point, I wouldn't care if I got kicked out of the wedding. Like, this is so just next level bridezilla, your own flesh and blood you want to kick out of the wedding, not for any like legitimate reason, but because she's not cute enough.
It's legitimate.
No,
it is not, Tom.
That is
it
nasty.
is
You're looking
not.
at your pictures 20 years later, you're going to be like, ugh.
Get out of here.
Is that how you feel?
Think about the TV shows that had little kids on them. Where are those little kids today?
Okay, Tommy.
Where are you going through?
Not
Why
on
are you
TV.
choosing this kind of violence?
Because they're ugly.
No, Tommy, this is not a TV show. This is real life.
Well, I'm just saying they based it on something.
I'm telling
Tommy,
you right now, if somebody tried to tell me, sorry, Jimmy can't be in my wedding, he's not cute enough anymore, I am going ballistic.
He was cute at 4, but he had a rough 2 years. That is a nasty statement.
We should check in with Jimmy when he's 6 and see how he looks.
Listen, Tommy, just because you feel that way when you look back at your own yearbook photos doesn't mean it's the same for everybody else. Kids are cute and they can grow up even cuter. And honestly, she'd be better off without this bride because who calls them assignments? Why would you want to be in a wedding where you've given assignments and you have to meet to go over them? It's not homework. It's a celebration.
Preach.
And it's even nastier that not only are you doing this and did you come to this conclusion, but you want me to be the person to go in there and do your dirty work for you because you can't actually look that girl in the face and say what you know is wrong. Like, all of that for me would make me not want to be in a wedding either.
Yeah. I want to say this is like temporary wedding insanity. You know what I mean? Like, she hasn't exhibited this, because hopefully if she's always been like this, I mean, come on now, then you knew what you were getting yourself into before you signed on to be a maid of honor. But I'm hoping this is temporary wedding insanity and she's not always this callous.
Do we want to start some major trouble? Because she could pretend that she's still going to go through with it and then approach, I'm assuming that the niece's mom is the bride's sister, right? Like, it's a pair of sisters and it's her niece, or it's her brother, it's her niece. What if she approaches the niece's grandmother and says, hey, you know the bride and the mother or the parent of the niece the best, like AKA the grandmother's children.
Yeah.
Bride wants to kick niece out of the wedding and I don't know how to do it. You know what I mean? Like, go to the grandmother and start some ish, because then the grandmother is the mother of the bride and the mother of, or the grandmother of the niece. So she's going to be pissed that her kid is kicking her grandchild out of the wedding. You follow me?
Yeah, I follow you, unless she got it from her mama.
Yep.
I don't know where y'all just went. It's too early.
Grandpa's going to be like, that little Shrek can't be in the wedding anyway.
Oh, God. Yeah, Mo, I did feel like I was just explaining an
Cass,
outside question.
I promise you I tried. I was there with you for the first grandmother and the mother and the sister, but you lost me somewhere in there.
The Bert Show.
So first, thanks for watching. Second, you like what you just watched? That just scratches the surface. Get the Bert Show on any podcast platform. We're so good.